All right, let's dive into chapter 10 of The Giver. This is the exact moment where the perfectly polished world of sameness really starts to show its cracks. I mean, this isn't just about Jonas starting a new job. Nope. This is the day his entire reality begins to completely fall apart. So, think about this for a second. Imagine it's your very first day at a new job. You're probably expecting, some training, maybe some awkward icebreakers. But what if, instead, your new boss sits you down and tells you that everything you've ever learned about the world is a complete lie? Yeah, that is exactly the situation Jonas is walking into. Okay, section 1, a door unlike others. This is where it all begins. As Jonas heads toward the Annex, he's literally walking into a brand new world, and the first sign that things are different is the door itself. The changes start off small, but they're official. The nameplates on Jonas and his friends' bikes, they've been swapped out. It seems like such a tiny detail, right? But it's this constant little reminder that childhood is officially over. They're citizens in training now, and their whole life path has been laid out for them. And then comes the first real bombshell, a locked door. I mean, you have to understand, in Jonas's community, which is built on total transparency, doors are never locked. But here, he has to be buzzed in. Just that one little thing, a lock, introduces these two massive new ideas, privacy and secrecy. And for Jonas, those concepts might as well be from another planet. They just don't exist in his world. So he gets inside and bam, shock number 2. The attendant actually stands up to greet him. This isn't just about being polite. It's a show of respect, of deference that he has never, ever seen before. In a world where every single person is treated with the exact same level of courtesy, this tiny gesture immediately lifts him up, putting him on a totally different level. All right, part 2, the room of books. So once Jonas is actually inside the main room, he finds a space that just completely breaks every single rule of the ordered world he's always known. See, everything in Jonas's world is about function. It's practical. But this room is something else entirely. The furniture has these rich, thick fabrics, curved legs, incredible details. These aren't just things to sit on. They're made for beauty, for comfort. 2 ideas that are completely foreign to him. But honestly, all of that stuff with the furniture, it's nothing compared to the room's biggest feature. We're talking about a number so huge that Jonas can barely even wrap his head around it. Thousands. Thousands and thousands of books. They are lining the walls from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. You and I, we'd see a beautiful library, right? But to Jonas, this is something that just shouldn't exist. It's an absolute impossibility. And here's the reason why. The entire world of books for Jonas consists of exactly 3 things: a dictionary, a map of the community, and the book of rules. That's it. They're all about function, about order. This room holds an entire universe of stories and ideas and histories that he had no idea even existed. The amount of forbidden knowledge in one place is just mind-boggling. Okay, so let's talk about the weight of memory. Because sitting right in the middle of this impossible room is the man who holds all of its secrets, the current receiver of memory. The first thing Jonas sees is a man who looks, well, ancient. He's wrinkled, he looks exhausted, and he's got these dark circles under his eyes. You can just tell his eyes have seen a lot, and they're carrying a burden that Jonas can't even begin to understand yet. But then the man says something absolutely startling. He says, "I am not actually as old as I look. This job has aged me." And just like that, it clicks for Jonas. This super honored role, it comes with a huge personal price. It literally grinds a person down from the inside. And here's another little clue that things are different here. Jonas gives one of those polite, totally scripted apologies that everyone in the community uses, and the man, he doesn't give the standard required response back. It's another one of those tiny but huge signals. This guy operates outside the strict social rules that everyone else lives by. In this room, the normal rules are out the window. Part 4. The world before sameness. Okay, this is it. We're getting to the absolute heart of the matter. The man finally explains what the job is, and, well, it pretty much shatters everything Jonas thought he knew about his world. So what is the job? It's to receive and hold all the memories of the past. And not just the community's past, oh no. We're talking about memories from the whole world, going back and back and back. He's basically a living library of all of human history. And the receiver is very clear about one thing. He says, it's not my past, not my childhood that I must transmit to you. It's the memories of the whole world. See, for Jonas, the only history he knows is personal history, his own life. This idea of a collective global memory is just beyond comprehension. And poor Jonas, he just can't get his head around it. His reality has been deliberately shrunk down to two things, only us and only now. So these concepts of elsewhere and going back and back and back in time, they're so abstract he can't even process them. He doesn't even have the vocabulary for history or geography. Then the receiver says, I am so weighted with them. And that one word, weighted, it makes everything click into place. The man's exhaustion, his old appearance, it all makes sense. This isn't just knowing stuff. It's a heavy, physical, emotional burden that he has to carry all by himself, day in and day out. All right, part 5, the first transmission. So the explanations are done. The receiver realizes that words aren't enough. It's time to show Jonas what he means. It's time for the very first memory to be passed on. So the receiver tries to use a metaphor to explain the feeling, something about sledding in the snow. But the words are just empty. Snow? Sled? Runners? Downhill? To Jonas, these are just sounds without meaning. And this, right here, shows you the true, staggering cost of sameness. It's a world where entire experiences have been completely erased. And then, the receiver does something that is just absolutely jaw-dropping. He goes over to the speaker, the monitor that's in every single home, always listening, and he flips a switch to off. The power to create silence, to have real privacy, to not be heard, it's a kind of freedom Jonas didn't even know was possible. So Jonas is lying on the bed, he's taken his tunic off, and you can just imagine how nervous and confused he must be. In this totally new, silent, private room, he just asks the one question that's on his mind. What are you going to do, sir? And the answer is what changes everything. I am going to transmit the memory of snow. The old man places his hands on Jonas's bare back, ready to give him the very first piece of a world that's been lost. And that is exactly where we leave him, right on the edge of a completely new reality, about to feel something for the very first time. I mean, what would snow even feel like to someone who's never even experienced the concept of cold?